So, the story of the the man who was going to hell. You know? There was a man who came to my office. It is more or less 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago. I don't remember exactly. He came from Morocco, and he was invited to come to my office by another man who was a healer from Senegal, a Pearl healer. Pearl is a population in Senegal. What happened is that this guy, the Senegal one, the healer, was telling me, was encountering me and asking me if he could send to me, could invite this man to come to me, because this man was asking to him some help. But after a couple of sessions, he realized that he wasn't able to help him because he was from Senegal and he knew the Senegal way of healings that are different from the Moroccan way of healing. So I was starting why he's sending this man to me, because I know the Western way of healing. But anyway, I decided to accept this visit and listen to this man. By the way, in that time, in that period, Lynn was in Italy, and Lynn was with me in Bergamo, in Milan, in Padua to do something, And so I invited Lynn to come with me and join me to have this first session with this guy. He was telling me his situation. And as a typical situation that if you go to a regular psychiatrist, a regular psychologist, like a cognitive psychologist, or a regular psychoanalyst, ego psychology analyst, they will answer immediately, there is a depression. But depression is not the right word to describe in his term what was going on. Maybe there are other words like melancholia that are treated by the Arabian medical doctor during the Middle Ages, treatise of melancholia, Ibn Umar, for example, or nostalgia, which is is defined in the 15th century, I think. It's defined by a Swiss medical doctor as the illness that takes the pain of the coming back. Nostalgia. Nostos is pain, and algia is coming back. No, algia is pain, and nostos is coming back. I'm sorry. So the pain of the coming back, the pain of being in a place in which you don't understand very well the language, in which the customs they use, the mores, are completely different, religions are completely different, and so on. And the second thing he said, it was that he was coming from Morocco, and the second thing was that he was belonging with Sufi religion. The third thing was he was working in a factory as a worker, manual worker, and he was taking terrible turns. So in a month, the first week he was going to the factory from 6 in the morning to 12. The second turn was to 12 to 6 in the afternoon. The third turn is to 6 in the afternoon until midnight, and the fourth turn was to midnight to 6 o'clock, and then again and again and again. So the third thing was that he was not able anymore to follow some, everyday life rhythm, because he had to eat or he had to sleep in different situations. He was telling to me that the period of Ramadan, in which people eat only after 8 o'clock, it was a healing period for him. But Ramadan is a month per year, so the other 11 months were terrible. Then he was talking about the fact that he fell in love with a woman, an Italian woman, and he gave to this woman a rose. It was interesting because his friend from Morocco saw him in the very moment in which he was giving this rose to this woman and so on. And they take advantage to him, just joking to him, telling to him, you have no hopes, you know, Italian women are not for Moroccan men, so putting him in a difficult situation, bullying him in some way. No? So everything that happened was a thing that made him in this kind of sad and painful mood. All the things together, particularly the fact that he was going in 1 hour, he would have been into hell. So when he started to talk about the fact that he was in an hour going to hell, immediately Lynn, I was translating to him, to Lynn everything, and Lynn said to me, she touched my heart, say, well, but he is telling us that in 1 hour, an hour and a half, he's going to hell, so this is an emergency, she said. So we have to do something to help this guy to face the hell, keeping his own dignity. So she said, I remember an idea by Michael White, and the idea of Michael White, who belongs to the club of your life. And she told me, tell him in Italian, no? Who belongs in the club of his life. So I have some problems to translate, no, in Italian, and then translate in an Italian that could be comprehensible to him. So I said in Italian something that means like, who belongs to the club of your life, which is something like chi c'è nel circolo della tua vita. He was watching at me and at Lynn in the eye. Said, well, my father is died, but he belongs to the club of my life, and is the first person that I would indicate for that. Then my mother, and he said, my mother looks like this woman over here, this lady over here. No? And then he was meaning about a sister that was living with the mother in Morocco, and she's not married, she has no fiancé, and she's suffering about it because she was past 20, she had been passing 20s, and in Morocco a woman who passed 20s without a fiancé, at least a fiancé or a husband, is a kind of woman that is supposed to be, how do you call it in English, zitella, as a woman with no husband. There is a word in English to do that. Anyway, a woman alone, no? So he was crying in this very moment, thinking about his sister particularly, his mother also, and his father that died. So the fact was, Lynn was saying, it's not necessary that this person will be living or dead. You can bring them with you, to you, at the hell, in spirit to him. There are two words. One word is snoon, or the plural is jinn, but the jinn of the lamp in Aladdin, for example. But this word in Arabian can mean something that is a little bit uncanny. So the jinn are those who, when inhabit you, are making you full. So he had a lot of gene in this sense already in his culture. The other word is karin or green. Green is the spirit who belongs to you in the reign of the spirits, no? Which is a reign that is in between to the man word and the Allah word and the God word. There is an intimate space in which there are green and green, but the green are good spirits. So I translated green. I said, well, it's not necessary that people are living, people who belongs in the club of your life are living. They must be also the green of the dead or of the living person that belongs to you. And he started to think about his father, his mother, his sister, and so Lynn was at this very moment. Lynn made this intervention. It was very nice. He said to me and to him, but there was no necessity to translate at this point, because the language was the body language. She could talk French or English or whatever. He was eager to understand everything. She said, you can take the green of your father and put him on your head. And he was looking at her, and then your sister here, your mother here, and possibly if you are other friends on the arms and so on. And then he was saying, oh yes, and I want to put you too on my arms. So she said, well, you can take the spirit of Pietro Barbetta and put it here, and my spirit and put her here, and you can go facing the hell. And he was, so happy about it. And at the very end, he said to her directly, you remember me, my mother. And that's all. That's all the story. So I've seen this person. I say to this person, well, you go and whatever, we will see in a month. And I saw him after a month, and he was very, very glad about this encounter. We were talking all the encounter long about Lynn. We were talking about Lynn, about her spirit, about her gentleness, and he was telling me if people in the United States would be all as her, I would be glad to go to the States.